thank you for tuning in to the Woman of Power channel. This channel is designed to inspire, encourage, and uplift you. It's given me a great pleasure to welcome one of my good friends by the name of Corinne Carter. She's a woman of power and strength. She's been through so much in her life, but what she's been through do not dictate who she is today because she's a woman of power. Carter, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Carter, I just want you to share a little bit about your life. I know you've been through so much. I want you to share the journey of your life when you were a little girl and stuff that happened to you. I thank God for you, Carter, because your life doesn't dictate who you are today because you're a woman of power and strength. So walk us through the journey of your life.
But first of all, I must say thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here today. I'll give you a little snippet into my life growing up as a child. Um, I can remember as far back as I was about 5 years old growing up in Jamaica. And for those of you out there who know Jamaicans, they say what's on their mind. Whatever they think is what they say. And thinking about how you feel about what they're saying is not anything that come to mind when they do that. So growing up as a child, I could hear a lot. People would say a lot that I'm ugly, that my eyes were big, and that I'm ugly. Soon as they say your eyes are big, the next thing that come after that, you're ugly. So that would make me think that my eyes were what made me ugly. So I used to often look in the mirror and squint to make my eyes look smaller. But then I'm thinking if my eyes were smaller, then I wouldn't be as ugly. That was about like from 5 years old coming up. And I would get really sad because even when I went to school, my people in school would do the same thing. And I
Yeah.
began to have low self esteem.
So that was from age 5.
Age
So
5.
the journey through when you were a teenager, how did that work for you?
Okay, so growing up all through my life, I could hear that, I'd be as a teenager, I would be walking down the street doing my own thing, minding my own business. And out of the blue, somebody or someone would just blurt out, "Wow, that girl eyes are so big and she's ugly." And I would try to get a thicker skin to not let it bother me, but deep down inside it would. At about the age of 15, I could remember hanging out with the other girls. And at that age, you start looking at the opposite sex, looking at boys, start showing interest and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And us girls would hang out together, do girly stuff, especially if there was a group of boys nearby. And of
Yeah.
course, I wouldn't catch their interest. But every now and then, one of them would look at me and would say, "Wow, look at that girl. Her eyes are so big and she's ugly."
Wow.
And of course, that hurt. It hurt, but I would let it, like a duck, I would let it water roll off my back and don't let it bother me.
Did you
Every
have did you have a very low self-esteem at that point?
extremely low,
Oh.
extremely low. And every now and then, you would have a boy that would come by and say, "Hey, pretty girl." But they would only say that because they're after something. They want
Okay,
to
got
get in
you.
my pants. So I wouldn't feed into it because I know that there's something that they're after. So I would just let it roll off my back. That was it as a teenager. I did get married at the age of 19. And
Okay.
when I got married, I didn't get married for love. I got married for an opportunity.
Okay.
Yes. And that opportunity was for me to move from Jamaica to come to the States. And that's how I got here to America. We got married.
How was that for you at that point?
How was the bullying and stuff?
The bullying and you getting married, did that change to make you feel better about yourself?
I convinced myself that the bullying and stuff wouldn't stop me from being who I am. So getting married would I would try to start a new chapter,
Yeah.
so to speak. A new chapter, a new everything, and don't let that bother me so much.
How was your surrounding? Like you have sisters and brothers. Did they help you in that journey of making you feel better about yourself?
Well, sisters and brother, I was the second child from my mother, and when mother wasn't around, I had to take mother's place as being the eldest or the one that is in charge.
Okay.
So I was like the mother. They didn't really have time to really think about me and trying to make me feel better as in the way I look, because they look up to me as a mother figure, but in my looks, that was the farthest thing from their mind. They didn't think anything about the way I look. I was just sister, and of course they love their sister, and I was the mother figure, and that's how it was.
Was there anybody in your life at that point? Now you're married, and was there anybody in your life at that time to encourage you, to lift you up, to make you feel better about yourself?
Well, the story behind that is when I finally came to America. It took me 3 years to come to America. When I finally came, I was in a whole new world, so to speak, because
Right.
here in America, people, they think twice before they speak.
Hmm.
They don't talk about your looks to make you feel bad. If they are, they would give you compliments, and it would be something new for me because I wasn't used to stuff like that. So coming here, I learned to not think of myself as being less than. I
Right.
started looking at myself as being in a much better place, thinking highly of myself much better. So my self esteem got a little bit higher in coming here and dealing with people and see how they deal with people.
Okay. Did because of how you were feeling, as being feeling like you're ugly,
I would get in my own little corner and encourage myself, so to speak. But what
okay.
really helped was one day I had enrolled myself into computer school in Manhattan. And one
Okay.
day I was going to school. I went on the train, and the train are usually crowded. So I was sitting in my seat reading a book and with my head down. And then when the train stopped, I raised my head up to look to see what stop I was. And in the crowded train, there was this white man. Never seen him before in my life. He was standing there holding on to the handrails and reading his paper. And when I raised my head up and looked, he looked down at me and he said, "Wow, you are so beautiful." And I looked to the right and I looked to the left because I thought he was talking to someone else.
Right.
And nobody to my right or to my left what responded to him. So I look up at him to see who he was talking to, and he was looking me dead in the face. And he said, "You are so beautiful. Look at your eyes. You have Betty Davis eyes." And of course, I didn't know how to respond. I started to blush. So he nudged a next person next to him, and he said, "Look at her. Look at her eyes. Look at how pretty she is. She's got Betty Davis eyes." And the person looked over and said, "Yes, she do." So I slouched back down in my seat with my book over my face because I didn't know how to respond to him.
Right.
Nobody ever told me or given me that response before about the way I look, that I was beautiful. He actually called me beautiful. So I
Wow.
said to myself, I have to go look up this person to see who this Betty Davis is because I've never heard of her.
Yeah.
Of course, I did. This woman was an actress from back in the day. She had big eyes just like me, and she was white. And this white man was calling me, was comparing me to her and telling me that I was beautiful.
Wow.
Nobody could say anything to me after that
Wow.
because I actually heard that I was beautiful.
Wow.
So
And
that
it's helped
great, yes,
it helped your self-esteem.
it helped my self-esteem to shoot up on the meter. It went way up. It went way up.
Wonderful. So what happened to you after that?
After that, I started referring to myself to further boost my self-esteem as queen. I thought
Okay.
about princess and I said, no, I deserve to be higher than a princess. So I'm going to refer to myself as queen. So it doesn't matter where I go. If I'm putting my name down, I put my name down as Queen Corrine. And it's
Oh
only by
wow.
chance it rhymes. It's
Yeah.
by chance it rhymes. So I refer to myself as Queen Corrine. At my
Yeah.
job, when I talk to people there, I
Mm.
introduce myself as Queen Corine
Queen
to
Kareem.
everyone. Everywhere I go, I write it. I refer to people, and some people at my job do refer to me as Queen. As soon as they call Queen, Jamaican Queen, and that's what they call me. And that really helped me boost my self-esteem to think of myself highly, not higher than anyone else, but think
Yeah.
of myself highly.
So Carter, if you would tell a lady right now that
Mhm.
is feeling very low about themselves,
Right.
feeling like they're good for nothing, that they're ugly, that they don't look right, what would you tell them?
I would say to the ladies out there, ladies, don't let what you've been through as a child or a young lady define who you are. Jeremiah 1 and verse 5 says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you.
Yes.
Also, Psalm 141 and verse 14 says, I will praise thee, for I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I would say to the ladies, ladies, to all the people that bully you out there and make you feel less than,
Yeah.
let them know that you are an eagle. Eagle does not fly with pigeons. They
Hmm.
rise above them, they spread
Yeah.
wings, and they soar. We are queens. We
Yes.
think the Bible, the good book said that we're royalty.
Yeah.
So, like the queen that you are, put your crown on, lift your head up high, and reign like the beautiful queen that you are.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Carter. That was so well said. Know
Thank
that you're beautiful and you're wonderfully made.
you. Amen.
You're beautiful in the eyes of the Lord.
Yes,
So don't make nobody define who you are. Just know
exactly.
that you are a woman of power and a woman of strength. Thank you so much for tuning in to this channel. If this channel has been a blessing to you, I ask you to like, share with other lady, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. And know that you are loved by the love of the Lord. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks, Carter.
You're welcome.